And welcome back to another BlueJay episode. This time about Victorian London. Ooh, how are we gonna survive? Probably by, I don't know, being a farmer far away from the city. But we're first in London, so I don't know about that one. Anyway, enjoy the video and thanks for hanging out.
Do you ever watch Downton Abbey and find yourself thinking, I should have been born in the Victorian era? Well, you're stupid. Firstly, because Downton Abbey takes place 11 years after the Victorian era, silly goose. And secondly,
I like how this is the second How to Survive Somewhere, and then we get called stupid immediately off the bat because the timeline of all the things that inspire us is after the things actually happened, like it was with Red Dead Redemption. And I'm like, I'm sensing a pattern.
because life in Victorian London would be absolutely terrifying for someone accustomed to the luxuries of the 21st century.
It would.
But let's say you somehow end up in a Freaky Friday situation and switch bodies with a bona fide Victorian. How are you going to survive the London streets? Not to worry. With my extensive background studying history, certified by my 90,000 Reddit karma, I'm here to teach you everything you need
Damn, that's impressive Reddit karma right there. Damn.
to know to survive the Victorian era.
Honestly, are there people out there that actually want to be in Victorian London? Like, really? Bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, bum. It is BlueJay. Da, 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 da.
Alright, so you just finished your Disney Channel style
really
body
love his
swap and
intro.
were officially transported over a century back in time to Victorian London. Gah! What? What is it, James? My body? What's happening? It looks like during the body swap you've received a lethal dose of gamma radiation. Oh, and your hairline is receding. My hair? Oh yeah, actually 2 out of every 3 guys will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35.
Whoa! Damn. Rest in peace, people.
But about that radiation, BlueJay, how do I keep it? Alright, weird priorities. Well, really the best way to combat hair loss would be with Keeps. It's a fantastic doctor-recommended online service that offers clinically proven treatment to stop hair loss and improve hair growth. They're customer-focused with a 24/7 care and support network of expert medical advisors and care specialists at the ready to help you with any questions you might have. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or honestly, if you just want to take better care of your hair in general, Keeps is perfect for you. They even got award-winning shampoo and conditioner. When's the last
I don't
time
think
you
that's
won an award?
available in the
Never?
U.
I know. Here you go. Now for the radiation.
Texas, I love you. Just buy a hat! How to stop hair loss? Well, time to cover it up!
Well, at least they'll go out with luscious curls. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/BlueJay or click that link in the description. That's KEEPS.com/BlueJay. Thank you, Keeps, for sponsoring the video.
And it's
Of
for
course,
guys.
Alex,
Come on, let's be real. If like you can just get a bloody hair wig.
you're gonna have to wait a few centuries until you've got internet again, as you're now in Victorian London. The city is booming from the results of the Industrial Revolution. The air is dense, but the stunning Gothic Revival architecture still manages to pierce through all the smog. It's a city of rapid expansion and expensive projects,
Quite frankly, the fact that they do manage to pierce through the smog is impressive.
starkly contrasted by the overflowing slums. But man, taking in all these new sights is really starting to make you thirsty. So you head on over to a well pump for a fresh sip of water. First mistake, what are you, crazy? You won't even survive a day here. You can't drink the water. Cholera outbreaks are about as common as an office quote and a Tinder bite.
Cholera? Damn. Holy moly. I would have died immediately, probably. I did not know this! I'm already dead, chat! Oh god. Yep.
The booming population of London, combined with newly introduced indoor plumbing, resulted in overwhelming amounts of raw sewage. This sewage ended up in the Thames River, which happens to be London's main source of drinking water, thus completing the circle of life.
Oh,
During one
no.
cholera outbreak, Jon Snow, a supporter of germ theory, looked at all this sewage in their
Can I just say I appreciate the reference over here? Went a bit too far.
During one cholera
Here.
outbreak, Jon Snow,
You know nothing, Jon Snow. I like that.
a supporter of germ theory, looked at all this sewage
Oh, my cat wants to say hi to you, chat. There we go. Full screen cat. Rora again. Oh my god, she is such a rare occurrence in this stream to see her on the wheel. She is my fattest cat and I'm proud of her that she is using that wheel. You go, Rora. Now let's leave her to it and back to the video.
in their drinking water and had the hot take of, hey, what if we drink water, but without the poop? and ended the outbreak by ripping off the handle of a contaminated well pump. At the time, the community believed in the miasma theory, basically
Seriously?
the idea that diseases were transmitted through foul odors. So
Oh
government
my
officials
God.
still rejected Snow's theory of fecal-oral transmission, stating, "Germs in the water? Don't be ridiculous. It was stinky air." And this wouldn't be the last time a Jon Snow's potential was shattered. So unless you
Oh, yeah, she's a
want to die a painful
chunker.
death, I suggest boiling your water, or just stick to hard liquor, where the alcohol will not only kill any germs, but also help drown that regret you're starting to feel for wishing to be in Victorian London
Oh
instead
my
of shutting up and playing
God.
Wordle like a good little consumer.
Man, it's been a while since I played Wordle. Damn, BlueJay is not holding back in this video at all. Holy moly.
Alright, now that you're properly shit-faced, you're gonna need to pinpoint your social class so you know who you're allowed to interact with. But isn't who I am inside more important than some social class? No!
No, of course not. Hey, social class is still a thing even now. What the heck?
Oh, simply talking to a social class higher than yours is enough to get you arrested here. Luckily, it's rather easy to find out which one you belong to.
Still accurate, to be fair.
For example, are you over the age of 25 and alive? Then you're probably not in the lower class, as male
Oh, man, that crit. Oh, ouch.
tradesmen and laborers had life expectancies of 25 and 22, respectively.
25 for carpenters? What did they do? Accidentally nick off their hands or something? Well, is it because of like the sawdust?
But let's say you find yourself a member of the respectable upper class. What can you expect from your newly found privileged life?
Oh, you're right. Splinters as well could lead to infection. Damn. Yikes.
Well, first off, you can kiss the thought of a hard day's work goodbye, because with the fortune your family has built over generations through certainly non-exploitive means, you'll never have to work a day in your life. So instead, you're gonna have to find out how to kill all this free time you got on your hands. Being a person with enough wealth to buy a handful of developing nations, or one GPU, you just
You can tell when this video was released.
decide to use your money to give back to the poor people whose blood, sweat, and Fossy Jaws helped you build your riches.
Nice joke.
So you buy tickets to next Tuesday's Freak Show. Freak shows were essentially the MCU of the Victorian era, loved by people of all ages and social classes.
Freak shows, the two-headed girl, the deformitomania, Marvel.
Except
Oh.
for pretentious people who prefer more refined entertainment, like seances. Everyone from your average Joe to Queen Victoria herself loved to goggle and laugh at all the different looking people performing. These freak shows showcase people with physical abnormalities, such as dwarfs, conjoined twins, giants, fat people, thin people, hairy people, ethnic people, and
What the actual fudge? Okay then. So it was popular to point and laugh at those different than you. Got it.
whatever else they thought would pique people's curiosity. Gather round, folks, gather round, for I'm about to unveil the wonders of the world. Realities beyond your comprehension. Freaks from distant and foreign lands. Meet the man of hair. The precious Piper Pinky. And behold, Paul. I thought this was a freak show. Oh, trust me, Paul's a freak.
Trust me, Paul's a freak. Oh, honestly, it's kind of sad that some things never change because we still do have people putting shows of like those that are different. It's just different. It's online and usually is for profit.
However, the reign of freak shows came to an end as reports of mistreatment of the performers came to light, and the public was furious to find out that the people they went to laugh at for being less than human were being treated as less than human. But now that you've reached your limit of being near the working class who aren't actively carrying your dry martini on a silver platter, it's time for you to build your social status with your fellow aristocrats. To do this, you're gonna have to capitalize on some of the trends of the time. No, not child labor, we'll get to that later. I'm talking
Child labor. Yet. Oh boy. I honestly love the way he presents these. It's fantastic. It's peppered humor. And it's great.
Egyptomania. Napoleon's
What?
campaigns in Egypt brought back trade and artifacts to Europe, eventually igniting a craze for all things Egyptian in the West due to its perceived exotic nature. This
Okay.
craze peaked during the Victorian era, and Victorians sure had interesting ways of indulging in this trend,
The
such as hosting
fudge?
mummy parties. Not the Brendan Fraser kind, they weren't that based. Specifically, they held mummy unwrapping parties.
Oh yeah, I
Getting your
remember
hands on the
that.
mummy was the easy part. You could literally cop one from street vendors in Egypt like a pin from Disney World.
Are you kidding me? The mummies were just being sold on the street?
But unwrapping them required a trained professional called an unroller. Why exactly they had to hire a professional to do some glorified banana peeling is beyond me, but I can only assume that their training involved a significant amount of fruit by the foot. Essentially, a bunch of people would gather round to watch the unroller unwrap the mummy and perform an autopsy, including cutting into the skull to go, oh my god, look, he's got a brain, that's crazy.
Oh my god, can you imagine? This mummy has a brain. I don't know why, that's how I imagine it. And obviously they needed to have someone do the unwrapping because it's beneath the nobles to be the ones unwrapping. Like, come on.
Fragments of the pungent mummy wrappings were then passed throughout the audience for their, pleasure, I guess. What am I supposed to do with this? While today we recognize hosting an unboxing party for corpses and disgracing a people's history is the most optimal way to speedrun a Twitter hashtag, the Victorians just couldn't help but satisfy their intrigue. And in their defense, they basically came gift wrapped. But if you need any more convincing on how evil this practice was, the most famous
It came gift wrapped.
unwrapper was a surgeon named Pettigrew. But overall, in the upper class, you won't need to worry all that much about staying alive. Except for the arsenic in your walls, lead on your dolls, corsets in your torsos, cyanide in your photos,
Excuse me? Arsenic in your walls? Huh?
strychnine in your tablets, explosive bits of plastic, kitchens full of toxins, morphine for your youngins, mercury-coated hats, radiation from your glass,
What the fuck? Mercury treated top hats? Uranium centerpiece? Kerosene for the hair?
kerosene in hair products, and asbestos in just about everything.
Oh my god.
Good luck.
The
But what if you
asbestos
aren't
part
lucky
I
enough
knew
to
of.
live the life of a Victorian Scrooge McDuck, and instead you find yourself living la vida pobre in the working class? Hold off on the booze there, buddy. As tempting of a coping mechanism alcohol is, we gotta make sure you even survive childhood first. Let's put you in a humble family of 7 kids and shit, 4 of your siblings just died. What?
Oh my god! Jesus Christ. I mean, I didn't want to be in Victorian London before. I definitely don't want to be there now.
Oh yeah, nearly 60% of working class children died before the age of 5. Good for you, champ, you won the coin toss. I need to lie down. So long as it's in a minor chimney, because it's time for you to get to work. I'm 5 years old, and about time you started contributing to the family, you lazy leech.
Lazy Legion 5! Oh my god, this is Frostpunk all over again. Holy shit.
Without child labor laws, working class kids started working as early as 4 years old. Now pick your poison, chimney sweeping or coal mining.
Oh my god, look
I
at that
suppose
poor
it's just a 9 to
kid.
5. 9 to 5. No. Victorian children were expected to work 12 to 18 hours a day. Gotta beat out that optimism early.
12 to 18 hours a day? I mean, I work that now, but like, Jesus Christ.
Besides, you've only got that small stature for so many years. Companies have to capitalize on your ability to squeeze in the tight spaces while you can. Now, these are still your
Oh my god, it's because of the chimneys? Are you kidding me? That's insane! Cat, please stop doing this.
formative years, so we gotta make sure you choose the child profession that'll cause the least amount of physical and emotional trauma. There were a lot, but let's narrow it down to chimney sweep and coal miner, and weigh some pros and cons. As a coal miner, you can expect some permanent eye damage due to eye strain from the dark environment, respiratory problems from coal dust, permanent spine deformation due to stooping, and of course there was the occasional explosion or cave-in. But on the bright side, you're essentially playing the closest Victorian equivalent to Minecraft. As
Oh no! Dude, this is terrifying. This is absolutely terrifying. Like, and kids nowadays complain, yeah. They're like, I'm bored. I think I'll take boredom.
As for chimney sweeps, say goodbye to the skin on your elbows and knees as that's all getting scraped off. You'll experience some irreversible lung damage from all the soot, and there's a high risk of death from falling or getting stuck in the tight chimneys. But at least you can die happy knowing that when Mary Poppins comes out in 100 years, Dick Van Dyke will forever cement your profession as much cooler than it actually
Oh god. I don't think he made it look cool. I don't think so. I've seen Mary Poppins. I didn't think chimney profession was cool. Chimney sweeper.
was. So assuming you survive your childhood profession, it's time for the big boy world. Now, I know the idea of living poor in a Victorian city is probably a terrifying concept, but don't worry. The Victorians actually put in some effort to help the poverty-stricken wastes of oxygen excuse me, less fortunate folk. For example, if you're homeless, you can escape the cold at a penny sit-up, where for the small price of 1 penny, you get to sit on a bench in a shelter for the night. Whoa, now don't get too crazy. You're not allowed to sleep here. What do you think you are, a human? You only paid for the privilege of sitting, and penny sit-ups even had monitors to ensure you didn't fall asleep.
What the fuck? Excuse you? Huh?
If you're looking to catch some Z's, you're gonna have to cough up an extra penny at a 2-penny hangover. Don't get
2-penny hangover. Oh my god, you could only sit in a place where it was slightly warmer and kind of bundled up secure for 1 penny.
too excited. Contrary to the name suggests,
This
a
is
2-penny hangover is
insane.
not a charity dive bar where you can drink yourself into an ethanol-induced coma. Instead, it was a rope that you literally hung over. Not the most comfortable experience, but at least you'll be the coolest kid on campus with your minimalist.
Are you for real? Excuse you?
You literally hung over.
Look at that! Look at that! Look, what is that? You don't need, like, you just get a rope? And how did that rope hold so many people? It doesn't even look that freaking thick of a rope! History is wild. Jesus Christ, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about this.
Not the most comfortable experience, but at least you'll be the coolest kid on campus with your minimalist hammocking setup. The rope was ideal because it allowed the staff to quickly, dispense with all the poor people in the morning. But hey, maybe it was a good day.
Oh my god! They woke you up in the morning by cutting the rope? That's like so rude! On top of the fact that they took your money to give you a rope, they also like eated you out and oh no.
At the factory, and you walked out with 4 pennies in your pocket, you little aristocrat you. Well, you can afford to be a high roller and head on over to a 4-penny coffin.
What?
Yep. While it may look
What? I'm done. I'm done. What the fucking fudge is this?
like you just got shipped back from the Crimean War, a 4-penny coffin was quite the step up from a rope, to be fair. You got to spend the night in a nice coffin, you had a tarp to keep warm, and you even got assigned your own little serial number, which is undoubtedly the closest you'll ever get to being acknowledged in your life.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is horrible. What the f-
Speaking of life, you better get used to this one, as people didn't exactly graduate from social classes, so the only 4 walls you'll likely ever get to call home will be a coffin at best, or a coffin at worst,
Oh.
if you can afford it.
Oh no. Oh. A coffin at best or a coffin at worst. It's like it doesn't even matter.
But on the bright side, if you manage to survive through the era, you'll get to experience many of the following significant discoveries and advancements. America found its second manifest destiny with the discovery of crude oil in 1859. Charles Darwin published his book on the concept of evolution, meaning that in a few centuries we may evolve past thinking Crocs are cool. Darwin's half-cousin
God damn it. Oh.
Galton took this research and started modern eugenics, which led to problems. Alexander
Which led to problems. Yeah. Problems is a nice way of putting that one.
Graham Bell patents the telephone in 1876, a device that changed the world by allowing people to learn about their car's extended warranty.
Oh, yeah. Life went to shit with the telephone, huh? Now your number gets sold to companies that just want to scam you.
Theory would become accepted by the end of the Victorian era, and nobody would doubt doctors ever again. The 19th century saw many innovations in data visualization for statistics, which are used today for optimizing shiny Pokemon encounters.
Which are used today to ensure that we get squeezed nickel and dimed everywhere and that we're fine with it. Loot boxes.
Counter strategies. The Bezimer process gave us bigger buildings for more people. Modern artillery gave us smaller buildings for less people.
Okay then.
Radiation was discovered in 1896, leading the cancer treatment in Imagine Dragons. The Navier-Stokes equation.
Imagine Dragons. I really love his humor, man. Oh.
Were developed to describe the motion of viscous fluids and weed out chemical engineering students. And Carl Benz builds the world's first car while simultaneously killing the concept of peaceful suburban life. And those are just a few of the significant advancements made during the iconic Victorian era. So, Alex, are you excited for your new Victorian life? You want to go home and play Elden Ring? Good boy. The Victorian.
Oh, the ASMR good boy as well. Be a good little consumer now. Off you go.
Era. Disgusting and deadly, but inspired Bloodborne. 3 out of 10 stars.
Oh, man, his videos are so great every time. Such a pleasure. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video with me, YouTube. If you would like to recommend any other video in the comments below and the React to channel in Discord. Oh, and if you want to catch them live, usually reacts are done on Sundays on Twitch. Until next time. Bye bye, YouTube.